loud. Not too bad. What? Mm? Mm? There you go. Shabbat shalom. It's wonderful to see you. What a lovely night. So we're going to begin with words of the mountains from our Psalms. Page 643. I lift my eyes to the mountains. What is the source of my help? Esa einai el harim. Esa einai el harim. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Where does my help come from? Where does my help come from? My help will come from God, maker of heaven and earth. My help will come from God, maker of heaven and earth. Now we're going to sing it again, and I would love to hear your voices. Let's join together. Esa einai el harim. Esa einai el harim. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Me'ayin yavo, yavo hezri. Where does my help from God, maker of heaven and earth? My help will come from God, maker of heaven and earth. Esa einai el harim. Esa einai el harim.
Before we continue, let's, like we always do, I'm going to ask you to turn to someone you don't know. Introduce yourself, share a Shabbat Shalom. You can shake a hand. It's okay to cross an aisle here. Everybody gets a new person to meet. We all get to meet one person. Fantastic. Well, lovely. Thanks for doing that, friends. We are going to turn back. Oh, they're still talking. Okay. I'll hang out. Page 120 in our prayer books. Now remember, some of you might have a prayer book that has 2 page numbers in it. If you have one of our versions with 2 page numbers, you're going to pick the page number in blue brackets. If you have only 1 page number, so much easier. And just follow along with us. 120, we light our Shabbat lights, bringing more light, God's light, with us into this space.
Adonai.
Amen. Thank you. Friends, we invite you to rise as you are able. We'll turn the page 123. And over here we have different Kiddush cups. And if you have something that is special this week that's happened, or maybe the week coming up, you're celebrating a birthday, you got a big promotion, we are always looking to know who won the lottery, you have an anniversary, you're visiting town, whomever you might be, if you're comfortable and you have something to feel good about, come and join us and you'll help us make a Kiddush. Don't worry, the cantor will lead it.
Ah, that's what you think. Let's join together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemahasei v'reishit ki hu yom techila lamikra'e kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Thanks, friends. No problem. Thank you, friends. Let's turn the page again. 138. 138, 130. It's just juice, so nobody worry. 138 and 139. Lecha Dodi, the prayer of our mystics. We are going to continue with the next 5 stanzas. After the 5th one, our custom is to share the last one. When we reach that 9th one, again, we rise as we are able. We can face the mountains, perhaps see the sun going down little by little, getting ready to welcome the Shabbat bride. 138 and 139.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala Yaradai, Yaradai, Yaradai Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Yaradai, Yaradai, Yaradai Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor v'zachor בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה לך דודי לקרא קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקרא קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קומי צאי מתוך ההפכה. רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי. על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך ניגע. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך המוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
Let's be seated. 142.
שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We turn again, 146. We rise as we are able for Baruch Hu.
Yai la lai lai yai lai 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 lai. Yai la lai lai yai lai 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 lai. Yai ha lai lai lai. Yai ha lai lai lai. Yai la lai lai yai lai 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 lai. Yai ha lai lai lai. Yai yai lai lai lai. Yai la lai lai yai lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Let's turn the page. 151. Let's read together at the top. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Let's be seated. 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam be'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlachtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukashartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchetavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Let's turn forward 158.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא אוסף פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך אהובנך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
160, we turn the page.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים.
Take a breath. We move into the tefillah together. We continue on 164. And again, we rise as we are able.
Adonai sepat tiftach ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot v'imahot, U'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Ne'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav leHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asorim, Umekayei Memunato, Lishenei Afar. Michamocha bal gevrot, umido melech, melech meimit, umechaya, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Atah kadosh, v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom, yahaleluch hasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
May be seated. Join with me in 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Atov Shimcha, U'lecha Na'el lehodot. Let's turn the page.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. טוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים
Let's take some time for our own personal prayer and reflections. If you'd like to follow a reading, you can turn to 179 through 181. Choose any reading to reflect upon, or just take some time for your own quiet, your own prayer, your own little peace. We'll come together again with Lo Yisagoy in the middle of 179 after a few moments.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo ילמדו עוד מלחמה, לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. שלום, שלום, Shalom, lo yisagoy el goy charev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy charev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Let's turn to 371 in the middle of the page. Our prayer for healing and wholeness. Mishaberach, may the one who blessed our ancestors, all of the mothers and fathers who came before us, to bless and heal those that we're holding on to in our hearts, sending strength their way. If you want to take a look in that handout again, we share lots of names of folks in that middle panel. These are people that have asked, or their families have asked us, to keep them in our our prayers, and so we come together for this prayer for healing. If you'd like to call out a name, let's fill up the tent. We'll take all of these names together, and we'll join together in the middle of 371.
Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha laimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
It's after that prayer for healing, we turn to this other prayer we've been sharing this past month. If you have the handout, or you can share, or I'll bring one to you if you need one. It says on the top, Achenu. And Achenu literally is our brothers. We look at it, it is all of those in our family. And while it's a traditional prayer, many have been bringing it back to a surface in lots of different Jewish communities because of these captives. The prayer is about releasing those who are held in captivity. It could be a spiritual captivity, to be sure, but we also know that there's such a physical captivity where there's still over 100 people that are waiting to be returned home. And we hope and pray that they will get home, that a war will end, that there could be a path to peace. So we invite you to join along with this melody that we've been learning.
Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanetunim Batsara uvashivya, Haomdim bein bayam uvein bayabasha. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanetunim Batsara uvashivya, Haomdim bein bayam uvein bayabasha. Amakom Yerachem Aleihem, V'yotziei Mitzara lirvacha, Umeyavel aliora, Umeshiabud ligeula. לחשת בעגלה ובזמן קריב. המקום ירחם, ירחם עליהם ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה ומאפל ליאורה ומשעבוד לגאולה. השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב. השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב.
Well, today's Torah portion. So I'm reminded a little bit about something relating to this particular Torah portion, this reading, because we were talking about something last week in our Torah study group, and I raised something that I haven't really thought about in a while, and it's been kind of sticking with me all week. And then I'm thinking about, well, what should I do for the Torah portion? And the Torah portion is called Re'eh. Re'eh is a root from the word to see, like with your eyes. So, Re'eh Anuchi noten lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. And in the English, it says, see, or some translations that are very formal, because they're not from Boulder, will say, behold, right? See, this day I set before you a blessing and a curse. You get to choose. That's the idea from the Torah. You get to choose. But I'm kind of hung up on this seeing thing. See, this day I set before you a blessing and a curse. Blessing if you obey the mitzvot of Adonai your God that I enjoin upon you this day. And that first word, re'eh, see. We have people that absorb information in lots of different ways. It's not just one kind of path. We have lots of ways to understand, some by seeing, some by touching. There are people I've encountered, no matter what's in front of them, they just need to kind of have a sense of what's in front of them, and they need to touch the fabric, the textile, see how it feels. There's something that we get an input. Some is going to be about hearing. Maybe it's about a smell. We have all of these different senses. We take all of this information in. It's not just by our sight. Those Israelites, once upon a time, getting ready to enter into this new land, I think maybe they might have struggled a little bit from just hearing these mitzvot, these instructions, these teachings. There needed to be another kind of an input, more than just listening. Re'eh, sometimes we have to open our eyes maybe a little wider, a little bit differently in order to see what's actually right in front of us all along. There's another word that we see a lot. It's tishmeru, and that word often is going to be translated as obey. But I think it's more than obey. At the root of it, it's really about hearing. But it's not the physical act of hearing. It's like Shema, tishmeru, Shema. It's listen up. There's something important that's happening here. Sometimes even in English, listen can be obey. The message, I think, in the text is we should pay attention a little bit differently to what's going on right now. We have to get rid of maybe some of that extra noise, some of the interruptions, whatever is distracting us, and to try and find a way to maybe tune in, focus a little bit more. When we're open to listen to different kinds of sources as sources of inspiration, as sources of responsibility, maybe it can land a little bit differently. maybe if we have a way to tune in, we might be able to have a sense of what God's voice is, whatever that might mean for you. So I have a memory that comes to mind whenever I see Re'eh or Lirot or these other Hebrew things that talk about seeing. Because when I'm reading it from the Torah, you know, I'm a rabbi. It's supposed to be like weighty. This is important stuff. It's not just like my common language of it. See, I'm telling you this day. It brings up something for me, because 14 years ago, right now, at this time, a month before Rosh Hashanah, there was a week where my vision on Sunday was 2020. And then on Monday, it was 2030. And on Wednesday, it was 2050. By Thursday, it was 2060. And by Friday, I had lost most of the color recognition, and everything appeared a little trippy, from what I understand. It was looking, just making sure you're awake. It was like looking through clouds. Or when sometimes we're kids and we're playing these different types of games, someone might put Vaseline on glasses or something like that. And it was only in one eye. The other eye was totally fine. One can say this is kind of poor timing for a newly minted rabbi in the beginning of his first solo gig in a new city where I didn't know a lot of folks. The month leading up to Rosh Hashanah is sort of like our version of tax season. But as I lost, only accountants found that funny. Right. As I lost my ability to see clearly, that experience gives me a different kind of clarity that I didn't really have before. Something that I was missing, because my kids were little, they were always crawling on me, there were things going on, I was in a new synagogue, this was my solo pulpit, whatever that means. There wasn't anybody to cover for me. I felt like everything had to be right. And sometimes I forgot what it was like to be just a human being. So that re'eh, that see, you have these choices in front of you, really came to light for me at that point. It was really pretty powerful. How many times, for any of us, has our challenges or our suffering stopped us from recognizing help even when it's at our doorstep? How many times have we failed to perceive deep wells of strength or holiness or soulfulness that can actually sustain us and propel us forward? So often we have just an obstruction of some kind, and we can't really see, even if our eyes are wide open and you have 20/20 vision, with or without glasses. I think living in this country has amazing blessings. And I also think there's some real significant curses. One of them is the idea that we have to do everything by ourselves. This independence that I was trained with as a kid. Even if nobody taught it to me formally, it's just all around me. And I thought I had to do things all by myself. And losing your vision means that things are out of control. And there aren't a lot of people that can actually help you other than accompanying you and supporting you without trying to fix something. You know, my wife and I have learned that when something is really big and we're doing all of this sharing or even oversharing, we're going to ask each other a question. Is this when you want me to sit next to you, or do you want me to help you problem solve? Lots of us go right into the problem solving. Not always helpful. Stop shaking your heads yes. Whoever you're talking about, don't do it. It's natural. We want things to be better. We want to help. But our way of helping isn't always to fix a problem. Re'eh anochi noten lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. See, really see, this day that God sets before us. There's a blessing and there's a curse. Now, about that, I know our ancient ancestors thought that God could bless and God could curse. That's not my theology. I don't think that God would hurt us. And I think life is complicated, which you've heard me say pretty much every sermon over the last 10 years. And since it's complicated, it's filled with blessings and with curses. But if we're going to have to experience some kind of hurt from time to time, then how are we also going to see something in front of us to help us build our resilience? Because if there's hurt, there's got to be resilience. It's there. Sometimes it's hard to find. Where will we find our resilience? I love being out in our tent. I kind of missed it this summer. Even when it got to close to 100 degrees, I still kind of missed it. Because this kind of tent that's open on all sides and we can all enter it from different kinds of perspectives and places and journeys, and wherever our life might take us, we can find a place in the tent. Which means you don't have to agree with us. You don't have to agree with each other. We just have to show up. I don't mean come to services. I mean to show up and to see who's in front of us, who's next to us, who are the people sitting in the corners. So I think being part of a congregation is much more important than the oneg, the food afterwards, right? There's disagreement in the front rows. And it's a holy disagreement. But it's more important than what we just might take. I think to really see what's in front of us, the blessings and the curses with one another in the tent, is where we find holiness. Last thing I want to tell you, that re'eh word, re'eh is in the singular. It's like a singular imperative, right? It's to one person, and it's in the command form, like you have to see. And then it says a little bit later, what's in front of you, lifnechem, which is in the plural. Usually our sentences are supposed to kind of work together, right? You need, starting in the singular, it stays in the singular. If it starts in the plural, it goes in the plural. Here, it's talking to each of us, and then in the middle of the sentence, it turns to the plural. We can't just see a new reality by ourselves. We're going to need someone to do it. I need you to help me see a better reality. And that's just the truth. Maybe you might need me. More likely, you'll need the cantor. But I think we do need, truly, each other in order to figure out how do we accompany, how do we engage in righteous generosity, radical empathy, and seeing blessings and curses, not because God even has the power to curse, just life is filled with them, and we're going to have to figure out how to bounce forward together. So, it's our choice. The choice is before us. See Behold, God's putting in front of you blessings and curses. How do we want to make our lives meaningful and matter? What is it that we're going to do? So I hope and pray that our sense of being connected to a Judaism or Jewishness is going to bring clarity and vision and strength and sustenance and hope to carry forward. Thanks. Aleinu l'shabeach, 586, the bottom of the page, 586 at the very, very bottom. We'll ask you to rise as you are able.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
591.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
May be seated. Zichronam levracha. May their memories be for a blessing. If you are observing a yahrzeit is the anniversary of one's death. Or if you are in a period of mourning, we invite you, if you choose, to rise for a moment, share the name of the one whom you are remembering, and then we'll continue with additional names from the community. We also remember in the period of Shloshim, those first 30 days, Stanley Goldberg, the husband of Vicky Yucha. Stanley is one of the last of our founders. We remember Elaine Spiegel Thompson, a cousin of Sarah Jane Cohen. Those yahrzeits that we recall for this week that's passed: Joseph Gary Ametin, John Arum, Lillian Berger, Hyman Bin, Isaac Boonin, Sarah Bernstein, Charles Eisenberg, Melvin Gelfarb, Barbara Green, Murray Gristle, John Inda, Betty Jackson, Belle Kaiser, Sarah Handelman Kasoy, Abigail Kaikova, Sigmund Lefkowitz, Beth Learman, Morton Lewis, Monroe Marks, Rebecca Marsh, Israel Melamed, Abe Murfish, Lynn Newman, Herbert Schlechter, Ludwig Stern, Beth Weinberg, Joseph Wigatow, Elsie Winship, Thomas Winship, Michael Yufa. Kaddish is on page 598. Together we stand as we are able. Our custom of standing for Kaddish is standing shoulder to shoulder, supporting one another, being present. It's never easy to say a Kaddish. It's even harder to be a Kaddish. And so we say together, Yitkadal, V'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma Divra Chirute V'yamnich Malchute, V'chayechon V'yamichon, V'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'izman Kari V'meru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Omei Amaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei D'Kudusha Barichu, La'ela min kol birachata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran be'alma, V'meru, Yehi Shlam Rabba min Shemaya, V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'meru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel ve'emeru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and all who hurt here and everywhere. Let's together say Amen. We can be seated. So a couple of things we want to share with you. First of all, it's really nice to see you. We're glad that you're here with us. We know we have a number of people that are here for the very first time. You did it. We're glad you're here. We can bring our prayer books back to these carts once we're done. We have one final prayer. That's the last prayer we just said, or you can look at 180. And we're about to start the year again. Lots of very interesting things are being scheduled. You'll be hearing more about them in emails. There's some things that are being mentioned in the handout. We hope folks will take a look. We'll make a motzi in that building, in that event room. We have our oneg, which doesn't mean food. It means joy, but it's kind of synonymous. So oneg will be inside. Restrooms are inside into the far corner. And we hope that you'll meet somebody new and learn a name, and we're, again, glad you're here.
Oseh Shalom. Let's sing out in peace together. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Oseh shalom imromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol
friends online, our friends on land, Shabbat Shalom. Wish your neighbors a Shabbat Shalom. Whoever gets there first is going to start the motzi. I'm not doing it. I'm empowering. You can do it.